The next thing I do is I start to introduce finger foods like Gerber snacks and other finger foods to help get him used to picking up foods and eating on his own. I pretty much want him to be self-sufficient when it comes to eating. So introducing finger foods and getting him used to picking up foods and putting them to his mouth is absolutely necessary.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Life with Ashley Lorraine, where I do life and I bring you guys along with me. My name is Ashley, and I am back again today with another video. So today's video is going to be about how I weaned my infant from formula to table food. And I know my son was born right smack dab in the middle of COVID, and shortly after I got him good and going on table food, I started to notice that there was a formula shortage. And I know that a lot of you moms are experiencing that formula shortage still, like right now today. So I thought it would be cool to make this video and share with you guys how I was able to quickly wean my infant from formula to table food. And I want to add that my son is a picky eater as well, so we all know how frustrating that can be at times.
How is it?
Good.
It looks like you're enjoying yourself. Oh, yeah, that looks like you're enjoying. Okay, you okay? You
I'm okay.
okay?
So to all my moms out there who have picky eaters, I can totally feel your pain. Now, before we get too deep into the video, I want to point out that obviously every situation is different. So of course you have to do what works best for your child, and you know, what works for mine may not work for yours, but I just wanted to share my experience with you guys. Also, if you are new to the channel, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have tons of content out there for you guys to binge watch, and so it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Now let's get into this video. So first and foremost, I did formula feed my infant. And yes, I am one of those parents who puts cereal in their child's formula. So I would start with single grain rice and then later incorporate like oatmeal and other mixtures like banana and oatmeal. And I usually start this around 4 months old, where I just mix a little cereal into my son's formula bottles. Then at around 4 to 5 months old, I start to incorporate these awesome little food pouches. I love these because babies can pretty much hold them themselves, and they are also less messy. Now, I do want to point out that you need to remember to introduce one food at a time for food allergy purposes. That way it just helps you identify if your child has an allergy and to what foods. The next thing I do is I start to introduce finger foods like Gerber snacks and other finger foods to help get him used to picking up foods and eating on his own. I pretty much want him to be self-sufficient when it comes to eating. So introducing finger foods and getting him used to picking up foods and putting them to his mouth is absolutely necessary. As you can see, he had a little trouble at first getting the hang of it, but one thing you have to remember with stuff like this is not to get discouraged. Eventually they will catch on, so if you just keep encouraging it and giving him or her the finger foods, eventually they will catch on, and it just gets easier and easier. As he starts to get better with eating on his own and using his fingers and picking up his foods, I start to incorporate different foods to try to see what he likes and what he doesn't like. Like I said earlier, my baby is a picky eater, So he basically is a meat and potatoes type of kid. He likes some fruits, mostly berries, no veggies besides the potatoes, if you can even consider that a vegetable. So basically what I would do is I would continue to use the pouches to incorporate veggies into his diet. He is 2 years old and he still has 1 to 2 of these pouches daily. Now, because my son is a picky eater, it did take me a little bit to get to the point where I found a lot of different foods that he liked to eat, and I basically got him to a point where I felt like he was eating really good and getting full, balanced meals. But again, like I mentioned earlier, if you just stick with it and keep trying, eventually you will get to the point where your child is trying new foods and doing really, really good. Now, eventually, I got him to the point where he was only having 1 bottle of formula a day, and it was usually at night before bed. Also, I did go ahead and introduce him to whole milk at 12 months. And for a bit, I did try almond milk, but then he started to look way like too malnutrition for me, and I freaked out and I put him back onto regular milk. Now that he's 2 years old, I am currently starting to wean him off of whole milk, but that's kind of a different story. Yeah, so eventually I did get him to the point where he was basically eating what we were eating as a family. So for example, if we had burgers and fries for dinner, he would also have the burger and fries, obviously minus the bun and the condiments, of course. Now, for whatever reason, at times my child would go on a meat strike. So when this would happen, sometimes I would give him his meats first to try to get those out of the way because I know he would eat the potatoes. So I'd give him the meats first and then give him the potatoes after. And lastly, before I end the video, there is one other thing that I would highly recommend, and that is getting your child on a good eating schedule throughout the day. So having them eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same time every day just kind of helps them identify that, hey, it's time to eat now. Especially if you have a child like mine who just plays all day, honey. He plays all day. So it definitely helped to have him on a strict schedule so he knew like, hey, it's time to stop playing and it's time to eat. And so that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video. Comment down below some of your tips and tricks that you used to wean your child from formula to table food, as well as tips and tricks that you have for your picky eaters. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out my other content. And I will see you guys in the next video.